Greetings, everyone. Master Coach Rich Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So real quick, I'm just about done. So I got some more stuff to do, but making improvements on the back wall there. I want to get a little bit of everything in there so you can see it. So this video, titled it, what did I title? I got it written down here. Caring enough to be tough and firm is tough. I mean, it really, really is. But, man, it's truly the sign of love. And on the other side, lying and giving kids or adults or anybody false hope eventually ends up hurting everybody. So let me give you a couple examples. What do you mean by that? We're going to start with something that's kind of fresh in my mind, hockey. And I'm going to give Bobby Varna a big shout out because he's a rock star with the Palmetto High School varsity team. And man, he's firm and he's tough on the kids. And I like it. I really, really do. And I'm glad I've got an opportunity to coach with him. He's been coaching and around the game as long as I have, which is fantastic. But he tells the kids straight up. And some may say, well, he's kind of hard, he's kind of firm, he's kind of rough. Well, here's the deal on that. I was kind of the same way at the Martial Arts Academy, same way as a teacher, a PE teacher, and coach and everything else. I'm never meant to hurt anybody's feelings. But maybe if I hurt your feelings a little bit, but toughen you up enough, you're going to be able to handle the stresses of the real world. And what I mean by that is it takes a lot more work, a lot more effort, and a lot more commitment to actually care enough to tell a player, if we're talking about hockey, what they're doing wrong, and then work with them to get better, as opposed to, oh, well, it doesn't matter. That's flat out laziness. There's no other word for it. Not caring enough to care for the child and their development, or especially in hockey, if they want an opportunity to play varsity hockey or move on at a higher level, being firm on them. And as hard as Bobby may be, or I am sometimes, it's nowhere close to being as hard as the real world is. And it's not like we're trying to break anybody down. We're trying to remind them that they can always get better and always improve, but we're putting in the time, the energy, the effort to try and look for things to help them get better on. Now, we praise just as much as we correct. Right? And some of you know from what I talked about before, the Martial Arts Academy, we had a praise, correct, praise. But the thing with that, never false praise. That gets into the lies and the false hope. Like at our Martial Arts Academy, kids did not get a belt. They earned every stripe, every advancement, every belt. Matter of fact, they didn't get a uniform for the first few weeks they were with us. They had to wear a t-shirt. And the t-shirt was all about, hey, you're in the, we called it the confidence course for the first few weeks. You could wear that around town, wear it to class, but you've got to earn your uniform. And want to set the precedence right off the bat that everything is going to be earned here at the Academy. Now, that was not for everybody. And that's okay. I'm not for everybody. And that's fine too. As a matter of fact, I had one dad at one particular time, the kid came back the next day and they had a uniform on. And I said, I apologize, sir. Obviously, we dropped the ball. We didn't explain the process, but we want the kids to earn the uniform. And the dad says, well, I bought it for him because I wanted him to fit in. I said, well, he fits in with his t-shirt on, and everybody knows you go through that procedural process in order to earn the uniform. Therefore, it sets the mindset that nothing is giving, because nothing's given in life. You have to earn it. Well, the dad goes, well, I bought it. He's wearing it. And I said, you know what, sir? We're not the right place for you. We walked up the front desk, got him a refund. He goes, you kicking me out? I said, I'm not kicking you out. But these are our integrity, our honor, our discipline, our respect. And if you can't value those in these first few weeks, all about making sure we're a good fit on both sides, then we're not the right place for you. So, yeah, he was not a good fit. And that's okay. I'm not a good fit for everybody either regarding coaching. But I am telling you this. When we lie and we give kids false hope, that's why I know at the Martial Arts Academy, I had kids break real wood. They had to learn the proper technique. They had to learn how to do it properly. Because if they ever had to physically defend themselves, I wanted to make sure that they could physically defend themselves. And I've said many times, I've never seen a belt or a trophy ever defend anybody. You've got to have it here, and well, not only here, the mindset, but the confidence and belief in yourself. Well, the same thing back to coaching and hockey. They've got to have the confidence to go out there, if they're playing varsity or higher, that they can keep their head up without getting run over. So no kid's going to get a spot just because your mommy and daddy complain enough. That's lies and that's false hope, and that's setting them up to get hurt later. And unfortunately, we've gotten into a habit in society today of everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets an A. Well, all we're doing is, and to me, once again, I know that's harsh. Bang, that's a right hook reality. That's laziness. We're passing that off onto somebody else. So who ends up losing? The kid does. Because they start to think that everything in life is free. They're entitled to everything. They throw a little two-year-old temper tantrum. They're going to get what they want. And what eventually happens? Well, they never learned how to solve little kid problems or overcome small challenges when they didn't win. Well, if they can't handle the little kid problems and challenges, there's no way they're going to handle teenager or when they become adults. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing today. So, is being firm and being honest, is that wrong? No. To me, that's the ultimate sign of love. Now, that has nothing to do with being rude, mean, or disrespectful. No, there's a way you do it. But I'm telling you, it's a heck of a lot more work. Think about your kids. You know, if you give in to your kids, because they keep saying again and again and again and again, and after you said no 50 times, if you finally give in, that kid knows. All I got to do is keep pushing. And be honest with you, all our salespeople out there, we could learn a lot from kids. What I mean by that is they don't give up after the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth no. They keep coming at you. Unless you've set that principle and standards of, and no, you can talk to them, say no, but what can we do to earn it? And I always hated that when we can't afford it. Well, and I understand money's tight and this and that, but don't set that in the kids' minds. Set it, hey, what can we do to earn it? That's what I always loved to do. I had to earn everything. Growing up on a farm, you know, I wanted something. Dad goes, well, you need to make sure those dang horse stalls are cleaned. You better make sure that cow is milked. You better make sure that your chores are all done and the hay bales are stacked nice and neat in the barn. I had to earn everything. And that's why I've got kind of the you got to earn it attitude mindset now. And Dad was 101st Airborne in Vietnam. So, man, he's a strict military guy. And I didn't understand as a kid, and he never really explained these things to me. I always thought Dad was just the meanest guy on the planet. But I'm older now, I understand. So now I try and take those lessons I learned from him and other great coaches along the way on how do I apply that to help these kids and maybe explain a little bit more, but also educate the parents and the coaches and the leaders that are watching. And of course, just a little plug here, reminder, I've got our Warrior Confidence Unleashed Inner Circle. We'll be starting up in the next few weeks. And these are a lot of the things we're going to talk about. Not only how to, definitely how to raise kids, but find balance in life, but be honest, be firm and direct. Why? Because that's a true sign of love. And then back to kind of coaching again on the bench there and in the locker room. I'm never going to lie to the kids. If they did not put forth a great effort, I'm not going to praise them and say they did. I'm not going to be rude and mean to them, but I'm going to be firm and let them know, hey, you can do better. I want you to do better. Why? Because when they know in their heart they have done their best, man, that is maybe they win or lose. It doesn't matter. They know in their heart they gave it all they got. That's the greatest reward you could ever have. But when they know in their heart they didn't, and you still give them or praise them and give them something they know they didn't earn, well, they're never going to put forth a better effort. They're going to continue to put forth less and less and less and less of an effort, right? You know, and I've heard, this will be my last point here, I meant to keep these kind of short, but of colleges giving out, kind of rounded it out. Nobody gets an A and nobody gets an F. Why don't we just give everybody a C or a B? Well, what are you doing? You're telling the kids that work their butt off for that A, don't study, it doesn't matter. And then you're telling the other kids, don't study, don't matter. Well, what are we doing here? And unfortunately, we've developed that mindset in society today. You know, everybody should be equal. Well, we're all equally awesome in our own way, but we're not equal. There's no way. We all have different gifts and talents. I'm not 7 foot tall. I don't want to be 7 foot tall. That's not the way God made me. So if I say, we should all be equal. No, I'll never be 7 foot tall. It's insane for me to think that, right? No, people have talents. I'll never be able to throw a baseball 100 miles an hour. We can't all be equal, but we can be equally great at our unique God-given talent. But we got to make sure we pass that on and quit lying to kids and giving them false hope. Once again, back to board breaking at the studio. If I gave them little paper boards and they snap it with their pinky finger, that's not teaching self-confidence. No, I mean, come on. You are not helping the kids in the real world when some kid grabs them on the playground and wants to punch their face in. Well, I flicked this board and broke it. Oh, that doesn't work in real life? So anyway, I know some people are going to be like, oh, man, that's awfully firm and rough. Well, then I'm not your coach. I'm tired of pampering down to others. It's not about hurting feelings. It's about being honest and real. And why? I'm going to tell you why right now. Because the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 34 is suicide. You know why? And bullying has a lot to do with it, but it's bullying because they don't have the courage and self-confidence to stand up for themselves because they've never, ever been taught to stand up for themselves. They've never been taught to stand on their own 2 feet. They've never been taught to overcome adversity and challenges. And to me, that's the greatest travesty. That's bullying in itself by being too lazy as a coach or a parent to commit the time to tell kids when they're doing wrong and help them get better. So, all right. Well, I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks. I'm sure this will light it up a little bit. We're probably going to get stuff from both sides. But I'm going to be more and more like this because it really, really, truly rips my heart out that our kids are being lied to, being deceived, and being given false hope. Because sooner or later, they're going to have to learn to stand on their own 2 feet. And we're not helping them right now by doing these things. So, love to hear your comments. And remember, our Warrior Confidence Inner Circle is going to be starting up soon. If you're interested in that, drop in the comments. I'm in, baby, and we'll have a chat and talk about that. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.